Let's take a look at the pound yen here. I wanted to take a look at this, looking at the 4-hour chart. And I mentioned this earlier this week about this rally. Now, first of all, looking at this decline, right? And this applies for the euro yen as well. You had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave dip, and to me, that's the start of a corrective wave. So when the market started rallying, I mentioned that this looked like it could be a bull trap, just like we had earlier. In our previous consolidation, where we had one dip and then a rally that looked like it was a bullish continuation, but it was really just a part of a flat. Okay, and then the market came back down to a previous low and then came back up. So it's important now to see if the same thing is developing. Okay, so there's two ways to look at this. A very apparent structure is a double top. This, anybody can look at this chart and say and tell you that this is a double top forming. It does look like a double top formation, right? With 130 as our key support here. I would say 129.70 to 130. So it's a zone of support. Okay, and so far the market is actually respecting that. Now, if the market stays below 131.50, I'll give it some elbow space, 131.55, 131.60. If it fails to push above that, and then, shows a strong downward push, that means we're respecting the middle of this, and there's going to be a bearish bias to push lower. Now, I like it if the market actually already broke below 129.70, came back up, failed to break above 131.50, then I would look for another swing down. The fact that the market held above 130, takes away that bearish bias, in my opinion, and this could very well develop into, a completed flat. Okay. But again, to the upside, same thing. If we come up here and then the market comes down and respects the 131.50 level as that's what I call a central pivot. It doesn't have to be the middle of the exact middle of the range, but it's somewhere in the middle, and it's acted as a pivot. You see coming back here, a pivot here, support here, resistance here. Okay, support here for briefly before the market crashed below it. So 131.50 is important. If this does revive the upside outlook, it needs to stay above 131.50 to make it more clear. This is exactly what happened before. Okay, after this consolidation, here the market came back down, tested the central pivot of our previous range, which was at 128.20. Okay, resistance here. Let me just make that clear. Resistance here, support here, and then again support here. Finally showing the market returning to the bullish bias. So here, resistance, support, resistance, brief support, and let's see what happens now, how the market reacts to that middle. All right, so that's the pound yen. It's in consolidation, so I'm not bullish or bearish at the moment, but I do have a bullish bias in the medium term. When you look at the daily chart, this is a very strong push. And if the market does does double top, I would then open up some bearish outlook. Again, still in the short term. Okay, let's say the market does break below 129.70 and then holds below 131.50. That's a double top. A conventional double top projection a breakout projection is to take the width of the double top and project it into the direction of the breakout. Okay, where we see the next important pivot area. So you see here, support here, previously acted briefly as resistance here. Here it acted as resistance. Here it acted as resistance. So this 126.50 area up to, I would say, 126.55 area, maybe even a little higher, is going to be an important support. Give it some elbow space. I say it could actually extend even lower to 125.35, 50% retracement. Okay, but this is the zone where I would be looking for renewed buying in this pair. Okay, now, I'm not saying the market might not even get there before pushing higher. Right now, the yen weakness is stalling out. It's the end of the fiscal year. There's some repatriation, so that gives the yen some strength, or at least that holds off this yen weakness. Now we're nearing that end of March, so when we get into April, which is the next fiscal year, that repatriation dynamics, that dynamic of repatriation might be over. And I would continue to look bullish for the bullish outlook in the pound yen. And what are the targets to the upside? Well, short term, 135.17.20 area. You see here we had a strong reaction of the market before. All right, here, as well as back here, earlier in 2011, here during mid-year. So that's the next resistance pivot. Then I'm actually looking for 140. All right. So if the market does get down toward 126.55 area, 127 area, that's a lot of upside. And if you plan a stop below these support pivots, you could see that. I'm not going to do the math here, but you could visualize the reward to risk here. Let me clear these out a little bit.